Just the three restrictions.
Good evening,
We're live.
WODpreppers.
WODprep Nation.
What's up? Sorry to cut you off, Travis. That's all right. We can keep going. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the WODprep podcast. I am joined by Travis, bro. I feel like we just need. Can I just call you like Brody? I just feel like I want to call you not Travis. No,
He's not
All right.
Russell
Call me bro.
Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook. I don't get it. I
Call
don't know
me
that, bro.
Call him Brody.
Do they? I don't know. I stopped following basketball like right before COVID. I couldn't handle it anymore. And we're joined by the John Young. I want to hit like a button. I kind of want to be like Chase and like have like a sweet thing.
Number one winner in the WODprep.
You were the number one winner.
Dude,
I wonder
I don't know.
how many people actually finished and like chose all the way through. I'd like to see that number.
I don't know.
I was close to you. I got dinged when Jay Crouch withdrew from the.
He did
with the
yeah,
final.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Unlucky swing.
And
I think
who else
you're
did
ninth.
I pick? Yeah. Oh, and I had Aniel Kai. That was a tough pick.
In the wrong one. You would have been pretty good in the first one.
Yeah, I can't win them all.
What's going
JY
on?
Barbell shirts left, John?
Oh yeah. Hey, let's go, baby.
Hey, look at
shit.
that.
I brought it on the pre-order.
Yeah,
That's called a
that's-
true friend. I think I knew you for like 7 minutes when I bought one.
I don't think the marble will ever come out again, so that's going to
Dude,
be
this is. I
very
told you,
rare.
this is
It's gonna
great.
be a very rare shirt. We have very few left. They're selling out like hotcakes. So once we get it up on the site, which it's in the process of my wife's crochet site, we'll start selling them online.
Cool.
Yeah, you know the struggle, Seema. You know the struggle.
He looks like a Brody, but Travis isn't douchey. He suffers from being so beautiful. Do you know this person? I mean, she looks like
man.
she wants to know you.
He likes her some Travis, man.
Yes, she does. All right,
I don't know, Johnny. You were the one with the mills all over you all weekend, so
dude.
I was getting no
Yeah.
action.
What do you call them? What do you call them? Barbell mommies?
No, they're my athletes. They're my girls.
They're muscle mommies, man.
Muscle mommies. That's
Everybody's
it. Muscle
got different
mommies.
nicknames. I just call them my
Yeah.
girls.
All right, so
I got my guys too. They're just fewer and
just
far
fewer and
between.
farther between. Yeah, don't worry. It's a thing. Guys coach females more often. They just do. Like I mean, females just have coaches more than guys do. Guys are harder to coach. They're kind of a pain in the ass. All right, so today we are going over, what's the title? What do we say? Can we fix the 2024 CrossFit Games? And everyone is coming to see us talk about stuff that everyone else is talking about, and we're not going to talk about any of that shit. Right?
It's all
You guys
about
are
the programming. It's all about the programming.
all about the programming.
We're the greatest minds in the programming space.
That's right. That's right.
John.
As John mixes his Ovaltine. Travis laid out the rules. Can you explain the game?
Okay, so they were a little rough, but basically, guys, we're taking what the athletes did at the games. We're not counting Amanda and the sledgehammer event, right? We're just
10
going
events.
with the 10 events that they did, and what each of us was allowed to do was to make a maximum of 3 changes to the entire programming. So you couldn't add in a workout. You could only just play with one workout 3 times, and you could kind of change as much or as little
Or
as
3
you wanted
workouts
each
one
workout.
time.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Wait.
So
If you play with
only
it more than
only 3
twice.
changes.
3.
All right. 3 total changes, which I thought was bullshit, but he laid out the.
It was very difficult.
It was hard. I needed
one
4.
of my changes I think you guys will laugh at, but it's like, this is what I think would fix it.
We'll see. Slater, Travis, make sure you tell CJ about my amazing hair. Slater's hairline is crazy. That's a tough
yeah.
photo, though. You got to change that. We should have taken a new photo at the games.
Yeah.
He's got a good hairline. Can you please fix the Dicky's triplet? I definitely did.
I did as
don't know.
well.
I think we all did.
Okay.
I'm
I think
assuming
we
it's
all
probably
have
pretty
this-
close.
I bet we have all very similar.
I went through a couple iterations and I like my final bit. I have a lot of justification behind it. But yeah, I'm excited to kind of go over it. All right.
Why don't? Okay, so here's the program everyone knows from the weekend. What are your main grievances? CJ, give us one. Give us one.
Since we probably will have the similar. I know we don't, not exactly the same, but similar. Do y'all just want to go workout by workout and see which ones come first? Because that way, when we get to Dicky's triplet, we'll all say our piece, and then we'll have a total at the end.
Should we Should we?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, we can do that.
CJ
And then
did midline climb, and I know me and Travis did not. So like he can say his first, and then
Cool.
I had one on the track and field. And Travis, I don't know where your 3 were, but
Shane, this is called clickbait. So welcome, and now you have to stay to hear us talk about programming.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess it's not obvious we're talking about programming.
That was the purpose.
Yeah. Okay. Good call. Good call.
I want everyone to come in and then be surprised that we're gonna have something fun and not.
We're not doing the
sad.
same old. Yeah, we're not doing the same old. Okay. You want to go workout by workout, John, or do you want to just do?
well, just whoever's workout comes first. Like I know CJ's comes first, unless you
Sure.
have midline climb as well.
What about just in general? Because the first thing that comes to my mind at the program was no squatting, other than the squat cleans until the last event.
Sure.
And
So
that
let's
was
talk
kind of
about that
number-
first. We can talk about that.
Like main grievances first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Air
okay.
your grievance.
So I'll say what you already said, no squatting, and I just think there was a severe lack of strength. There was one heavy event, period. The yoke was insignificant. The thrusters were not the crux of the workout in the last one. It was the last bar muscle ups that kind of made that workout. The bag was way too light. The dumbbell, everybody did unbroken. Chad, I guess, you can say is lunging or squatting, but that's a monostructural workout in my opinion. Maybe you guys feel differently. There was one heavy workout, and then the sled pull was irrelevant as well.
Mhm.
Every single strength element was irrelevant except for the clean ladder, which is the one strength event. And usually in CrossFit games, there's 2 to 3 straight strength events, like one like static max, one Olympic lifting one, and then one kind of just barbell thing. And there was just one this year. It was just so biased monostructurally towards cardio. And that's my main grievance. Even high skill gymnastics, there wasn't like a ton. The one workout that did have high skill gymnastics was not, it ruined a strict pressing workout.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, they missed the mark in a few spots.
Yeah, I think that's
and-
fair. All right, Travis, you go.
Well, yeah, I went with squatting, but I was going to say with John's point that even the 2 workouts that we missed out on, Amanda and the sledgehammer, didn't really address like any of the main
still wouldn't fix
concerns. It only kind of touched on like a little more squatting and gymnastics with the ring muscle ups, but you still like not a lot of squatting, and the sledgehammer event didn't fix anything. Probably just would have been its own debacle. So it
Right.
being excluded was probably a good thing. What about you,
So,
CJ? You got anything else?
Yeah. So I think the reason, and so squatting, the strength component obviously was very much missing, but the clean ladder was there. Okay. The yoke was too light, but I think we all agreed that we liked that workout and we can't change that piece because it wouldn't have made a difference, in my opinion. It would have been too small of a change for it.
I mean, if one of us wants to change it, we can. I just think it's a bad change.
Right. I agree. But it could have been an implement to where strength could have been better. But I think the biggest limiter for the whole weekend was what I believe Dave made the cornerstone of the weekend, which is Chad. And so with Chad being where it was on day 3 and right in the middle, literally dead in the middle, to have a ton of squatting while we didn't have a direct knee flexion under eccentric load. We had 1,000 step downs, 500 step downs, however you want to look at it, right? So there is an eccentric loading component there. There's a loading component on the knee for a 3.5 mile run, 1,600 meter run, clean ladder, and then there still was 63 through 78 thrusters. Okay, so
yeah, there was a ton of lags, especially up
right,
up until
and so
including
because
Chad, but there was no squatting.
Right, but because of that, there couldn't have been squatting. If you kept Chad in, then you couldn't squat, right? And so that was the decision that I made, was to, if you took Chad out, then I think we could have like push pull could have been like, I don't know, like a back squat, right? Like a push, that kind of component or something to that effect, or, I don't know, like a really, really heavy sled or really heavy yoke. But because Chad was the cornerstone, I left it in, which means that I didn't add a squat pattern. But I think that was the limiter on why strength wasn't a driver for the weekend, personally. Like if you just look at the opening event, event 7, it's really hard to test strength safely in between all of that, right? With the clean ladder there too, right?
Yeah.
So just that's like where my head is at. And I think that's why it was leaning. It's still very biased, obviously. But if you leave Chad in and you don't change leg day, it's really hard to add in a heavy strength load without then being just like too close together, right? Because I assume you'd have to add it like Dicky's triplet, and it turns into, I don't know, like a front squat instead of a dumbbell snatch or like a dumbbell thruster. But then you have thrusters. So like this is where my head was at for the bit. Too much legs then.
Do you think that like when you look at the programming, is it pretty obvious that like maybe Dave wasn't like in collaboration with somebody as much as maybe he should have been, or he wasn't getting feedback? It's like kind of, to me, it seems like some obvious oversights that you
it definitely
address if you had more than one kind of mind on it. Now, obviously, he's the most experienced person in the world at programming the games, but still, I just feel like it's some like obvious oversight.
It felt like programming the 2012 CrossFit Games for 2024. Like I thought it was soft.
It definitely, I agree, right? And so, without getting into any of the other stuff, I think that's an interesting point to make with a lot of the gripe that's coming out of like going to war, et cetera. Like looking at the progression of the games over the last 7 years, it has gotten, in theory, softer, right? Like you said it with Tyler last night. Like there's always a workout like that you just can't do, right? You're like, I can do some of these, but you could, like, most people that are RX athletes in general that have at least some strength could have completed or at least started and gotten a decent way through pretty much every piece of all the workouts, right? Aerobic capacity was the limiter. There was no strength limiters except on the clean ladder. So, yeah. And so the other point I wanted to bring up, and this is something that, who used to be the CEO, tall, skinny guy. What was his name?
Justin
Berg. So in 2021, when they had the first semifinal right before he got fired, I was overhearing a conversation. And they were really hammering in the storyline from open all the way to the games. And so if you look at the storyline from the year, there was a pretty hefty amount of squatting and knee flexion leading into the games, right? You had event 2 from semifinals, which was a primary front squat workout, right? And you had the snatch ladder, and then you had probably the heaviest walking lunges we've ever had on the floor, right? And so there could be a play and a component there of why there was such a lean in one direction. Same thing with quarterfinals. You had 150 wall balls, and I don't know, so there was something else, I think. Yeah. Was there another squat pattern?
I get the point you're making, but I don't know that those things should have that much of an impact on what we see at the games.
Right, I agree.
To the extent that it was unbalanced. Yeah.
Sure.
Anywho, right. Let's do it. Okay, right. Let's
here. How about let's just do the first change, and we'll go your first change as it showed up on the week.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, midline climb. CJ, you had a change for midline climb.
So a lot of what I changed was more so to look at the leaderboard and sort of how it moved there, right? And to see which workouts, if I change, would make the most difference within the placing of the workout. Not so much of the like, did we squat enough, or
what was missing? What was missing?
Yeah, and so because that's not always the case. Like sure. that games always have a little bit of a lean, and so I kind of took the easy way out on this one, and I went with the 5 rope climbs. But I think it would have made the most difference on the leaderboard of all the workouts personally. Like going to 5, maybe not the most, but relative to like Firestorm or Chad or whatever, right? Or the track and field, which I did change track and field, but I took it away. I felt like this would make a huge impact on the leaderboard. So that's why I made a change. And I just went back to the 5 rope climbs.
I don't know, man. When I saw you did this as your change, I was like, Oh man, you only got 3 changes for the full games, and you
I
just
know.
added 2 rope climbs
Yeah.
per set.
Well, it's 10.
I don't know.
rope climbs.
It's
It's
10
10
rope climbs.
No,
With- there's-
two per.
But there, and
yeah,
there's a legless in there somewhere. I don't know where it was. I couldn't remember.
Right.
I asked
Okay, you get
wherever, like however it was written when Colton did it, which I think was in the middle,
Colton
right?
did it with 3, but the 3 in the middle of the GHDs were seated legless.
Seated legless. Okay, so I'd say this is pretty similar in general. Maybe not. I don't know. That might be harder.
I think the tall guys still do pretty well in this.
So if you just look at even the good rope climbers, like in the middle, going to the higher rope, they were struggling. There wasn't, besides maybe Pat and like your top 3, I mean, they were really, really struggling. And I think this really shifts around. It takes the focus off the machines and off the GHD, and it unbalances the workout and layers it into gymnastics, which is what we didn't have at that point. And since we couldn't add Amanda 45, this was where my gymnastics driver was.
Yeah, I like it. It makes it a pulling workout. It definitely makes it a rope. Who's the best at rope climbs versus machines and GHDs, which is what it turned into.
Right.
That's our finishes for Midline Climb.
Yeah, and I think Jason, Dallin, James, Cole, I think they would have struggled more. I think, Pat probably would have still won.
Still wins, yeah.
He still wins, right? Justin probably shifts up. I don't know Kalen Souza at all. I don't know if he's a power athlete or not, if he's strong.
He's a power athlete.
Yeah, so he might have moved down. It might have hurt James a little more, right? So that was it. That was where I was at with that.
All right.
All right, fair enough.
My first change is on track and field. When's your first change, Travis?
Hold on a second. Let me look. Let me pull this sucker back up here quick. My first change is Chad. My first change.
Changing Chad. Shame on you.
Might be. I don't even need to bring up the graphic. Okay, my first change, and it addresses the point that CJ said earlier about how Chad. I feel like Chad was just an obstacle in the way that didn't allow, the squatting to basically be on that Saturday because of how much, lag work there was in the day before plus Chad. So you're kind of hammered in there. So I want to get rid of Chad. So I just totally axed Chad.
Ooh.
I didn't think we needed another long event. Necessary.
So you're gonna have 9 events.
First 2 events. No. Well, I'm replacing it. I'm replacing it.
I thought we weren't allowed to do that.
I feel like you said we're allowed to do that.
Like then one of my changes would
As
be
I
to
say
put Amanda in.
as I said,
What am I saying?
Hey,
That's
new
exactly-
rule. Only workout you were allowed to get rid of was Chad. I said that. You guys
bullshit.
must have glossed over that. Okay, listen. It was a simple swap. It was a 1-for-1. Okay, that was already existing. We just get rid of Chad and replace with Amanda 45. We get some squatting. We get to bring muscle ups that we needed.
Ooh,
we get rid of
replace
Chad.
with Amanda 45.
Particularly not even because Chad the workout sucked too, but because we didn't even have scoring on the goddamn field. So that was another abomination in itself. So I get rid of Chad entirely.
By the way,
And
go ahead, Travis.
no, go on. You're good.
They wanted Chad to be the first cut, and the way they had that set up, we had no idea where anybody was. There would not be
Exactly,
drama.
that's a
It
good
would
point.
just be confusion. Even the athletes, they wouldn't be able to speed up because nobody
That's
knew where
exactly,
anybody was.
Yeah. And I can see Dave thinking that's a cool thing, but I would say that's just like borderline unacceptable,
They needed to,
man.
dude.
Like, come on.
They fixed the machine problem for viewing in Midline Climb.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah,
That
the
was
ski
so
the ski
awesome.
Was great.
Just have a fucking judge there with a clicker.
Just a
Boom.
clicker.
Just a clicker.
Anything, man. Yeah, like I know obviously it wasn't.
Let's
like a flip
go-
in the box, but
Okay, so you changed it to Amanda 45.
yeah, we got the squatting.
So I originally thought that wasn't allowed. I would like that to be my first change as well.
You're changing Chad to Amanda 45.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'm down with it.
Just a simple 1-for-1.
Bananas.
like
Then I get my fourth change.
Okay.
This is scrap.
Scrap your midline climb. Okay. All right. Fair enough. So that's my first change.
All right,
That's
let's go
John's
back.
First change too.
Let's go back. Did we all let's go for each real quick. Let's just go like to Lake Day. We all decided not to change it. I assume because we felt like it, from a stimulus standpoint, it fit well. Yes.
Firestorm?
Yeah.
Lake Day first, right? Like we didn't change it.
Yeah. That's fine.
And then Firestorm. So Judy said someone haven't increased the barriers. And I thought this initially, but after watching it, I thought it was perfect. I mean, they maybe could, they maybe could have like added another layer of them, but it wouldn't have changed the outcome. I think it would have been the same
funny
thing.
The way it looked.
Right.
But I liked it.
I wish they wouldn't have said barricade. I wish they would have said block, like small box or block, a block.
Small, very small box. Those barricades were brought to you by the sponsor. What is it? The U.S. Border Control or whatever, Border Patrol that were set up in Bender Village. That's what you guys got down there.
That's the wall they built.
That's the wall, baby. That's the wall. I love
Build
it. Trump's.
wall.
That's sponsored by Trump.
Yeah, that was
right.
And I guess yeah. Go ahead. So we got Firestorm. We're leaving Firestorm. CJ,
Yep.
you had a 4th change to track and field. I didn't put it in the slide.
That's all right.
It was pretty simple.
But John changed yours, right? You changed track and field, yeah? John?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you
Okay,
did?
let's.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think we were allowed to do the Amanda Chad thing, so we're just gonna put that on the table, and I'll tell you my
That's my
3
fault.
changes.
All right.
You want me to go first, or you want to go first, CJ?
Like to do for track and
for
field.
track and
So
field, yeah.
track and field
So
was
John-
my 4th. So that was my 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 bench guy.
Okay, because it runs into Amanda a little bit. Is why I'm questioning this one. I guess we could talk through it a little bit.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah. let's
My
hear it.
only change on track and field was at the 12-minute mark. It starts with 20 overhead squats with 225. That's it.
For the sprint portion.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Oh,
then
no?
it goes
So you're just
into
getting
the
rid of the
sprint and
And
bag.
then you go into the sprint. Bag's weight
Oh,
stays the same.
Jesus.
The bag weight stays the
Jesus
same. It
Christ.
just starts with 20 overhead squats at 225. That's a lot. That's really hard to do.
Super hard.
And it rewards the really strong people that can do that unbroken, because I think few can.
Okay.
Now, John, from a logistics point of view, so your goal there is just to balance it with the running, and so this, because we saw the good runners just won the sprint anyway. Might as well
Correct.
just been a 100-yard sprint.
Correct.
What about? Are you not on board with just making the bag heavier?
I
Or
don't
you
think
just
I
wanna-
don't think it would be as much change as you guys are thinking. I think they still carry the star the same way. I think they still trot the same way. I just think it makes everybody slower. If you think about it, like the tall, I know Ricky had the Jets in the end, but the tall guys, their little trot with the star is still going to be the same little trot. Like their legs are longer than short legs. I like having a weightlifting implement that rewards you for going for broke, and it gives the little strong guy a bit of an advantage on this type on the sprint, a bit of a head start. And if you're really weak, like Yellow Hosta might get time capped.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like you have
an
to be
interesting
strong to start the sprint, and you just got your mile time that obviously you killed, right? And then and it takes away, like I did not have Amanda at this point, right? But it gives you a squat pattern. It gives you a moderately heavy squat pattern. It's not a max out or anything, and you can do reps too. You know what I mean? For the females, it'd be the same thing, 155. Like you could do 3 sets or 4 sets of 5 if that's what you needed to do. I just think it solved a lot of problems. And since these 2 scores, I would have made these 2 scores 100 points each if they were doing that. I wouldn't make them 50 points apiece. They would be 100 points apiece because they're 2 different events.
225 at 20 reps an appropriate weight and rep amount for
I
a
think
sprint
so.
event?
I think so, because it and you can have a hard cap on. Cap's 5 minutes. Okay, the sprint took 1.5 minutes. If you can't do it 3.5 minutes, like then you don't get to finish this. Like then you're just whatever rep marker you are. I just think it needs to be that. To me, was a hard enough weight that very few people would go unbroken. Like, and if you have 6 or 7 guys that can go unbroken, that's perfect.
Fair enough. I like it. I just like having a barbell out on the turf too.
Yeah, no, I think it looks sweet.
I like it.
It does look cool. It does for sure look cool. And they completely trashed that field and owe $500,000 from dropping it from overhead. Hopefully they put it down on a mat. So if on the female side, this makes sweeping changes to the second portion of it. Sweeping. It makes a decent
Emily
amount
Rose,
of changes on the guy.
Bethany
Yeah,
Flores,
for sure. Oh yeah,
Amy
the whole
Kringle, they're all bottom
Haley
of
Adams.
the barrel.
Yeah,
Haley
yeah,
Adams,
Haley
they're all
yeah.
bottom of the barrel
Agreed.
in this, and it's worth 100 points. And they got their 100 points on the mile, and then they don't get their 100.
Sure.
It completely separates it. but you're going to have the random guy that can overhead squat this unbroken, or girl that can overhead squat this unbroken and still run fast. Like maybe Brooke Wells goes unbroken. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody like that.
Sure.
And they would capitalize, and it'd be like a 200-point thing for them, right?
Yeah. So I agree on the women's side. I think on the men's side, I think it's much less, but it definitely is some, right? Ricky still does okay.
Very well. I would still pick Ricky to win.
Luke does well. Roman probably does okay. And then James Sprague probably doesn't. Jay doesn't. Brent probably does, but just squat speed, maybe not.
And I don't know if Brent goes unbroken. It's 225 for 20.
Yeah, it's so many.
Really, really
it's
hard.
So hard. Yeah. How many guys go unbroken on that in the field?
I'd say 5 to 7.
Even on, so this is roughly on a 6-minute rest, right? Assuming this is still at the 12. You didn't change that, right?
Yeah, still at the 12.
Okay. Yeah. So this benefits maybe Hopper and
I think Hopper.
That's why he did it. He did it for Hatfield, man.
And Dallin. So if this changed, Dallin wins the games.
Ricky would have been very good too. And Dallin, it benefited Dallin a lot.
Obviously. I wasn't even going to bring it up.
Yeah, Austin might go. He might.
I saw him down there.
He might win it, but I wasn't thinking about Hatfield when I made this. I promise
You're such a liar.
I think it solves a lot of problems within the programming. Is the reason. And you want to talk about making a difference? How much does that make a difference in that event?
Sure, man. Could you? Yeah. And then did you keep Chad in, or are you taking Chad out? Even more so?
I had kept Chad in, but like I love the change. I think the best change of all time is switching Amanda 45 for Chad. But I don't think you can have squat snatches and overhead squat like back to back. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it kind of conflicts with that a little bit. But I do think if that was, I thought we agreed that it wasn't allowed. So like, yeah. But I like that change to track and field. I'd rather keep that and just keep Chad for what it is, even though I think that change is the best change that Travis made in the beginning.
CJ,
what'd you do to track and field?
I changed it, and so I went back and forth because I was just looking at the leaderboard and how much change would it actually create, right? And so what I did was I kept the run, I took it to the 9-minute mark, and then I made the bag 125, 175, and I think that would really make a huge difference to the point that I don't know if they're able to put it on their back. Right. And I don't know, they might have to bear hug it. Some people will. And I still think it does a very similar thing that John said, except it doesn't benefit the short guys. It benefits the strong and even the good squatters, but it still benefits the taller athlete. And that's why I didn't put it in, because I don't know on the male side if that makes enough of a difference to create balance relative to who's at the top and who's in the middle. But on the women's side, I think it does a very similar thing to what John did, right? And so I think that heavy bag absolutely hurts the girls, right? And I think a lot of the middle girls, Stomet, Gazan, Brooke, whoever, like everyone, I can't remember where Brooke finished. Emma Lawson. I think they all do a little bit better. That's just better on the barbell. But again, this was like the weirdest one where, like, if you made that change, like a different type of athlete won this workout from the men and the women, which was really kind of strange. Like all the smaller, like pretty much the weakest athletes in the field on the women's side won, which is mind blowing. Just shows that the bag was just too light, which I think it was a fully missed stimulus from Dave, right? And that could be because of who tested it, honestly.
Trista, pipsqueaks.
Well, Trista, and then shorter males, like, and so, but I mean, I know he had Sydney. It's an interesting one, right? But they
Sydney
picked up the bag
at the ranch, though. She was strictly on site,
and so, I think if the bag was like 125, 175, I think that in a shorter rest, I think it would have balanced out. We would have felt that difference of those who really sent it and like took a big gamble on the run are hurting. Right. And those who maybe paced, and it also would have created more strategy in the run. Right. It went because everyone was a full send. It was as fast as you could run it, which I know that ended up being the goal.
But if 5-yard carry at 175, I don't think people are going unbroken.
Right. Exactly.
I think you're letting it go.
Yeah. 125, 175.
Like that.
That's spicy.
think I can make it 75 yards with that.
Right.
Johnny
Maybe with
be
the
stuck in
star.
dirty pond
Maybe
water.
with the star. But
Right, because it's kind of like a
sandbag. I don't
who's-
think I could.
No way. That's super hard, especially if it's a 200-pound bag filled to 175. I think you can because it's floppy. I think you're able to get your arms around it. I think you'd be able to, but it's spicy. And that was kind of like where my thought was of like, okay, how can we keep this as close to as possible and, you know, like actually create a separation from winners of the run and winners of the sprint. And that's where we ended up.
Right. Alrighty, so fair enough. So far we've got CJ adding some rope climbs to midline climb. You two both changed track and field with the intended goal to put a little more emphasis on the strength element, have different type of athlete win the first and second part. And then the most important change of the weekend, I asked Chad. John would have done that too. I guess CJ would have made. Would you have asked Chad if you knew that was allowed, CJ?
No, because I'm just a purist, and I think
Wrong
Chad.
answer.
Yeah.
Wrong answer.
I'm on Travis's side on this.
Yeah,
CJ,
and
you've
so
lost
I know
me on
it's
that.
it's fine, and I think it could have been better. They could have presented it better, but it was for sure the cornerstone of the weekend.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's why I wouldn't have asked it, just because I feel it. You know what I mean? That kind of just.
Do you think like Dave was just dead set on that from the get go? Was like,
Yes.
I want to make this
100%.
Like, do you think people around him are like, dude, fuck, this sucks?
Looking at the workouts, 100%, because
Yeah, I think he was excited for it.
he was for sure. And it means a little more to him than it does to most, right? It just does. And so, and I bet him and Boz talked about it, and I feel like they probably had some arguments about it, and that's okay, right? You know, that's part of it. But I think that's why we saw a huge lean, right, from like a strength, because doing that right in the middle of the weekend, I mean, it really pigeonholed you.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of my buddies is watching. He's the owner of my gym. And he just texted me. He goes, I carried a 150 bag for 300 yards, and he probably did. I think he almost won the Rogue hold when they did the hold
Oh yeah.
thing.
Oh wow.
However long ago. He's a
So he probably
hold
means
monster.
he was bear hugging
He's
it
probably
too.
a really big,
Yep.
really big guy. Really,
He's a
long
big guy.
arms.
Yeah, big guy.
Yeah, that's
He's
a
a big
cool
dude.
guy. What's your snatch?
Yeah, don't come on this show one up and Johnny. Young.
right.
You should know better.
I'm-
John's
I-
the strong guy.
I'm small. Okay, I can't hold bags
I-
for a long time.
I can confirm, guys, after meeting John, spending the week with him. Lovely man.
You know he's small.
exceptional
You
person,
saw
but
behind the scenes. Is that what you're telling me?
He's not even wide, more as he's just thick. John, is that the transverse plane? He's thick in the
No,
the
anterior
sagittal.
posterior plane.
His AP ratio's off
My
the charts.
AP ratio. Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
why we were speculating why he's got so many moms on JY barbell, because he's got the biggest ass I've ever seen. It's crazy. Crazy
right.
crazy build. Anywho, okay, nobody touched the dead ass.
Dead
Okay,
ass.
nobody changed the clean ladder. We had no issues with the clean ladder. I liked it. Thought it was a good event. Weights were good.
I'm with it.
Yep.
No concerns there. Push Bowl 2.0, probably the second worst workout of the weekend. Next, Chad
It was,
exists.
and like we said, I feel like we talked about it. We actually were able to talk when it was announced. I think it was, or maybe me and John talked about it on Tuesday. It was so close to being a great workout and an awesome race, and it wasn't. But it was like this close. It was almost there, and the freestanding handstand push-ups fucked it up, 100%.
You just ruined a great pressing workout by skill.
We couldn't beat them off of us
Yeah.
on the weekend there. Susan knows. He stopped by. It was
He kept stopping by, of course.
yeah.
He kept coming by. Susan, why'd you go by there so often?
So
Even
our
drink a funnel thing.
Did we all change this one, Travis? John?
yeah, I changed it. John, did you change it?
I changed it.
So number one concern is the freestanding handstand push-ups. It just became all about them. John, you put that very well. And then secondly, the sled was too light and not meaningful. Do you feel the same?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so let's hear it, John. You go first.
I just had a very simple one. I didn't change the sled weight. If you change it, I'm all for it. But like I didn't. I think the workout would have been totally fine, and it would have been great if it was just 15 parallel handstand push-ups at the end. I don't mind strict deficits, but I like how deep the parallettes are, and they're hard. It's a kind of more of an athletic movement. You go from kipping handstand
balance,
push-ups, which we all can like do very, very quick. 30 strict handstand push-ups, which is just, strength.
Muscular endurance.
And then 15 parallettes. That's like hips, athleticism, and strength combined.
Sorry, so kipping, parallette, handstand push-ups.
Yep. You can kip them, but like all the way parallettes.
Like 9-inch to the ground, yeah.
No, I'm like 12-inch to the ground. The whole thing.
The whole foot.
Yeah.
The whole foot. Is that what they are? 12? I thought they were 9. Maybe I'm wrong.
John,
they're tall. With an ab mat, mine's 11.
Okay. All right. So I like that. I like the kipping because it's still muscular endurance, right? So it still keeps the feel, and there's still a little skill involved, right? Like that kipping pattern is way different, right?
Got us.
Is it 14? I mean, just go to Grog.
Give them a little, inch mat where they can't bang their head. Safety, I'm all about safety, so we can give them a little padding there, but like, and don't change it for girls. The girls don't get a lower deficit, and like, yes, they're going to be slower, but it rewards the ones that can.
It's one way to look at it. All right, let me bring up mine. I like it, John. I like it. So here's my change. So we all changed push pull 2.0.
Ooh, you got. Oh, okay. I had to read it for a minute.
I had a lot more changes. John with a very subtle change. I like it, and it was meaningful. But I changed all of them to parallel handstand push-ups.
All right, chat. We're gonna need a vote because we all changed this one. So we need a vote from the chat of when we're done. Who which one you like the best? By the way.
Let me see if I can fire up a poll. Okay, so what do you guys think about the rep scheme for the parallel handstand push-ups? Oh, and I will mention. No, sorry. Did I change the weight of the sled? I increased the weight of the sled too.
Mm-hmm.
I
it was
increased
80.
the sled
It
by
was
50.
80
and 110.
You actually increased it a lot.
30. It was 80 and 110.
Yeah, you'd 60 and 120. That's what you increased it by.
Oh fuck! I thought it was. I thought it was like 110 and 130.
This is a sled pull workout.
I feel like I typed something wrong here. I don't remember.
If they were,
if
they were all seated,
I'd be filthy at this workout.
Okay, so
John wins.
We got. I was going back and forth on the style of handstand push-ups. I ended up on this 30 total volume, strict boys, but a heavy sled, real heavy sled, and then a handstand walk to finish. Yeah, wasn't it 110, 180? Yeah, hold on.
It's that sounds right.
I thought it was.
Yeah, it was 110, 180.
Okay.
110, 180. Okay, so
that's better than
30 and 50. Whew.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah. Thanks, Gus. I can always count on you. Gus really is the best auditor.
He is very observant.
So the volume of the handstand push-ups I was toying with a bit. I think 30 is appropriate.
That's a tough number.
You don't think people will mow through that?
I think it's still pretty quick, but then it finishes with the handstand walk. But then with the heavier sled, maybe it slows it down. So I think you're in and around a similar time domain. But anywho, yeah, I just wanted to get rid of the freestanding.
So you took a play off of push pull originally, right? Which is an increasing rep scheme. It was increasing rep scheme and increasing depth. Then back in 13.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, I like this. I think they mow through it. I think it's probably not enough.
I think the
personally.
I had more. I had
increased height.
I think it's like or if it's 8, 10, 12, I think it should be like 3, 4, 5, or like 4, 5, 6, something like that. Like depth.
I was thinking
like
like 4, 6, 8.
8-inch strict for 12.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be too much.
You'd be fine.
The reason I did 30,
I can do it.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah. John Young would win that workout. John Young.
I'm good at strict deficit handstand push-ups.
Because when I don't know if they've done these strict parallettes whenever else, but at Rogue when they did that heavy dumbbell, that was 3 rounds of 9, so it was 27 total volume, and people were like breaking those suckers up. Now, I know that was with the dumbbell snatch.
Yeah, but you're right.
So that's why I was like,
and it was 4 and 2 there.
Parallette's different. Like if you made them narrow, like if you set the width, I think that could.
I like the train of thought there, then Travis. I didn't think of it like that.
and a nice little touch. I went with the 8, 10, 12 because I thought it went with the 80-foot sections a little nicer. I originally had 9, 11,
look
13.
how it looked.
Look
how
at
it
that.
looked. Yeah, it looked pretty.
Yeah.
How do you
What
feel?
about 80 foot, 100 foot, 120 foot? Or is that too much?
Well, then you just have to start turning, right? Like it was 80 feet. That was
Yeah.
probably the length of the floor,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
And so talk. So you wanted to have a race at the end with the handstand walks?
Yeah, I kind of liked adding that in since there was no handstand walking. I just thought it would be
I like that.
a nice little finish.
I love to finish on
Nice
a
little
race
nightcap.
always. That was I like it. I think it's good.
Handstand walking wasn't tested. It just
wasn't
tested.
tested.
Else, which is crazy. I don't remember the last
Espe-
game where handstand walking wasn't tested.
Especially since it like was tested in semis and that was missed too. Like that was a row power workout, right? Benefited them
There
more
was
than
no
benefit.
skill there. It was just
Right. It was who was faster, and then which is fine, but it biased the row too much. I think we established that. I don't know whenever during semifinals was.
Gives a little more credence to Danielle Brandon's placement because she was 7th with no handstand walk.
Right.
Yeah. Alrighty, CJ, you're up next.
Let's do it. Okay, so I kept it very similar, and just went. My theme was to try and keep it as close as possible, just to not make it complicated. And so I went with exactly how it was designed. Went with the wall facing deficit, and then I focused more on. I felt like just based on the fatigue we saw going into the freestanding, right? Like while there was a skill component, their shoulders were smoked. I don't think everyone realizes how much stability and like teres minor, scap, subscap, and like rotator cuff fatigue comes from sled pulling, just like it was, which does play a role in overhead pressing, right? Especially from a closed chain position. And so I just went with 15 wall facing deficit. Didn't decide depth. I don't know, 4.2, something like that. Maybe more.
A 45 and a 25.
Yeah, probably like 45-25 for guys. I know 45 for.
I was thinking just that works. Whatever.
And then I focused more on creating a race at the end. I wanted to see a race. So basically taking the sleds and pushing both of them back to the start line or where they started from, and then like running to the end. And I think that would have been kind of cool to see a good race.
So you would push one sled and then run back and push the other one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like you'd pull them both, right? Just like it was. And then you push, come back, push, and then run through the finish line or something like that. Like, creating a race of sled push at the end somehow.
You wanted
was
to
my goal
to the original push pull feel,
yeah,
but with a little twist on it.
Yeah, that's it.
Just 1 second in case you keep going, guys. I'm gonna start a poll. Vote.
Did you set it up?
Chat. We have the poll technology.
Oh
on
my god!
Who's push pull 2.0 you like the best? Mine, probably.
We have
mine.
a poll, man. Travis came in hot. We're in contract negotiation. He was like, "Watch this, motherfucker."
The interview implemented poll to live stream increased audience engagement by 30.
I love it.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Give us a vote, guys. Give us a vote.
Where does it?
I like them all.
Can
you
yeah, see it on the YouTube?
I'm good with them all.
Yeah, I like them all. I think this was probably, obviously, other than axing Chad. Well, I guess CJ disagreed with that. But other than axing Chad, this was like one that really stuck out as a
guaranteed we're all gonna
like a big miss. It was
Dicky's triplets also like that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's how's the poll doing?
It's good. Getting some votes. 16 votes. It's not looking good for John.
Yeah.
I think it's because I went first. People forgot what I said.
They forgot. That's right.
People.
Oh yeah. Hey, let's get a quick recap of them.
Okay.
Augustus asked. I like it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. CJ's is on the screen right now.
Go back to
guys.
the original. We can remember it.
Well, I'll just show my CJ's.
We'll show yours last, John, so if it's fresh in their mind. Okay, you can say it.
Okay.
Here's mine. All right, finishing on the sled, wall facing.
Mine's here, guys. I did strict parallettes and a heavier sled with a handstand walk to finish. John, what'd you do?
And then go back to the original.
Yes, just give me 1 second. Right here.
And then mine was the original, but instead of 15 free handstanding, it's just 15 full deficit handstand push-ups. You can skip these, but it's all the way down. We'll say 13 and 11, 13 inches and 11 inches. So like deep handstand push-ups.
Deep. Yeah, John, if there were an award for the most elegant change, it would be yours. It was very subtle, but it was effective. So even if you don't win the poll, I want you to know I like your change.
Thank you, Travis. I like this newfound trying to be nice to me thing.
That's bullshit. Mine's
Yeah, I
better.
roughed you up too much on the
Can I put Augustus in timeout? How does that work? How do you guys put someone in timeout?
No, we can't. CJ, yeah, or Augustus, Travis. I like it. It's the handstand walk that wins it. Wow, look at this. I'm turning into a little bit of a programming genius, guys. I don't even program. I just typically wake up in the morning and I'm just a clang and bang. You know, get down in there and just.
I heard you take. I heard you take like 30 minutes to warm up.
He does.
Oh God,
he does
no.
He does.
I don't take a long time to warm up.
He
John
works out
doesn't
like an
warm up.
old
Guys,
man.
I feel like an old
I don't
man,
even-
so that's why I have to. We need to give Sarah Cooper a wrench. That's a good point. That's on our to-do list.
Can someone explain
John?
what that is? I have no. Someone said that
What-
before, and I have no idea
A
what that
wrench.
means.
A wrench is like a moderator, so they can ban people.
Oh,
Wrenchy. Swing the wrench
Perfect.
around.
got it.
Yeah, guys, if you didn't hear, I worked out with John the first morning down at the games.
Crap.
We went to the gym, and John had built up to a 355 power clean within 15 minutes of being there, including from the time
we
got in
were
the door.
biking in between.
Yeah, we got there quick, man. We got there quick. He had to immediately get it out. It was fun.
And then I didn't
Okay.
work out the rest of the weekend, except our little 15-minute hotel sweat.
Yeah, the boys didn't get a lot in. John, are you doing the Crash Crucible qualifier still?
I'm
workouts
not
come out.
like I'm not signing up and doing them, but because I am commentating Crash Crucible.
Yeah, I saw that with for Savon, right?
conflict of
I heard
interest?
that
Yeah.
yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And but I will be doing all the workouts for sure. I like them all. I know number one will be the death of me, but I like them all.
Oh, the hundreds.
Can you
Yeah.
break that up, or is that straight through?
Yeah,
I think it's straight through.
straight through. Yeah.
Damn.
The
100
rest
toes to
of them,
bar in a
the rest
row.
of them I like a lot. The rest of them like I like a lot. Yeah.
What was
No,
it? It
no,
was
they're
row,
awesome.
row, snatch, toes to bar. What? What was the last movement?
Burpees over the rower.
Burpees over the rower. Damn, dude, 100 toes to bar in a row
It's just gonna
after
be-
100 dumbbell
it's just gonna-
snatches.
It's just going to be long and grindy and
Yeah. How long do you think it's gonna take?
a long time.
They
I-
said
I-
today the best would be like 16 something. I think that's
Get-
pretty fast.
That's so fast.
I think at one point, I mean, I'm sure JR misspoke, but he said something about a burpee every 2 seconds, which is 30 burpees over the rower a minute at the end of that workout.
Come
I think that might
on.
be a little fast. I think he probably
Come
misspoke.
on.
He said 2 or 3
I think
seconds.
it'll be
Maybe
more
I
like
misheard.
5 minutes for the 100 burpees.
Yeah, it's tough to
I don't think
set
it'll
of
even be that
100.
fast.
It's
At
a
the
100 cal
end?
row, right? 100 cal row.
100
So
dumbbell
let's just say-
snatches.
let's just say 5 minutes for the cal row. It's 20 cals a minute. It's like 1400. And then the toes to bar. Y'all
It's
could probably
dumbbell
speak more
snatch
to that.
first, right? Isn't it dumbbell snatch? Then
Dumbbell
toes to bar?
snatch.
Yeah,
Dumbbell
dumbbell
snatch,
snatch
toes
is
to
probably
bar.
the quickest.
At 4, if unbroken, it's like 26, 27 reps a minute is like a pretty swift pace on a dumbbell snatch. So we'll just say 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Yeah, that's 9 minutes. And then I think it's 5 minutes for the toes to bar and the
Which is a-
burpees.
Each.
So
you
you're
think
looking,
you think they're going to be able to do 20 a minute on the burpees at the end?
I think the best
when-
will be able to, yeah.
So what
Maybe
is it? That's
if anything-
19.
Yeah, I would say sub 20 would be like phenomenal.
Yeah, top score. I agree.
Which means, Steven, we're calling a
Young.
hard over on that.
I guess maybe I don't know. Maybe you can recover a bit on the toes to bar, like heart rate wise, going into the burpees. But yeah, set of 100 at the end of that's brutal. I love the workout, so for sure they're sweet. I'm.
I wouldn't be able to
definitely
do
a
100
couple.
toes to bar in 4 minutes. Like I'd be slower on the toes to bar than
No.
everything else.
Yeah.
Everything else, I'm kind of
Especially coming off the dumbbell snatch. All right, we're not going to talk about someone else's stuff. We have Cody Iron Games October 12th and 13th, same weekend. If you live in the West, if you live not in the East Coast of the country, and you want to go to a good comp, no qualifier, and you get shoes, come on, Cody Iron Games.
Yeah, I've
Scan the
heard
QR code.
Dakota
Can't
Iron
get shoes at
Games
Crucible.
is a Crash
Shut up.
Crucible of the West. That's what I've heard. That's
I
what
like it.
people are saying.
That's what we're trying to get to
Sure.
for sure.
It's the word. That is the word. All right. back to this programming shenanigans. Next workout, we've only got 2 left. Dicky's triplet. I think everybody changed. Did Johnny
Yeah.
change Dicky's triplet?
Augustus. Yes, it is. All right.
Gus doesn't get out much. He's in the chat a lot. He's like, where the
Geography is tough.
Okay.
All right.
John, why don't you do yours
Okay.
first? Your Dicky's triplet.
So my Dickie's triplet is again very simple. I think you have to try to be as simple as possible. If you just want to change everything and like a whole lot, then we might as well just make a new games. But like if this is a challenge, I want to do minimal changes. So I'm gonna keep the weight, keep the 5 rounds, keep the run. And I'm just going to go escalating reps. I'm going to go 10, 10, 12, 12, 14, 14, 16, 16, 18, 18. And that's it.
What's the total increase in volume in that? Maybe.
Let me do the math.
Okay,
It's
don't worry
It's
about
6 more toes to bar, and it's 10.
No, it's a lot. I think it's a lot more than that.
No, because you started
round
at
per-
10. No, you started at 10, right? There's 5 rounds.
We're going to start at 12, we'll end at 20.
Oh, okay.
I meant to
And-
say 12. I'm sorry. 12, and then it ends at 20.
it.
Jonathan's watching on replay,
It's
catching up.
80 total reps of everything.
Okay.
It's 40 more snatches, which puts an emphasis on the snatch.
Oh, that's a lot.
Mhm.
That's a lot, and it's as it should be because there's no strength being that was tested.
Yep.
And then it's an increase of just 20 on the toes to bar. But I think this limits the aerobicness of this workout a bit, and I think it rewards anybody that can go unbroken with the snatch, which I think would be maybe half the field. And then of those half, it would be who is the aerobically the best.
Yeah, I like it. And you're actually making me feel bad because I was the one that said we should make the changes as minimal as possible, and I didn't do that.
Let's see.
I feel like an idiot. No, I like it, and that was a concern. It was
Stimulus wise,
Yes.
I promise it would be a way different stimulus than what was shown, even though it looks like and over to Travis's little thing on the side.
Me and Seema think so much alike.
I put overhead squats in the track and field one. Like I can't add squatting in every single
right.
workout. And to me, this would make the dumbbell more the crux of the workout. Who can handle
More
the dumbbell
meaningful.
the best in the workout?
Right. Okay. All right, I'll go next. My Dickie's triplet. Look at this workout.
I already
This is
hate
sick.
it.
This is sick.
Dude.
Seema, you like this?
So now,
Why?
this is
Why-
interesting.
166 triple unders.
Bro, they can bust those out like nothing.
Dude, what
This
the
is a
heck
poopy
are
workout.
you doing?
This is poo-poo.
What do you mean?
Yeah, this
It's a
is just
poo-poo
who can
workout.
triple under the best. This is like just
Yeah.
literally who can triple under the best. That's it.
Well,
Dude, they're not
Bryson
that
it's
hard,
a-
man.
Bryson
They're not that
Del
hard.
Monte
Bryson can do this.
Destroys. He'd be number 1 in this workout. He would beat everybody.
Then
Let's
that's
make
an
a poll
issue.
for.
They
Let's
should-
make a poll
That's
for
an
this
issue,
one.
right? I'm telling you, that's
No,
an issue.
man. Tyler's trash.
This
This
is
workout's
terrible.
Tyler's trash.
This is terrible.
The rep, I like the rep scheme though.
It looks pretty. I think 4 rounds would have looked prettier.
I copied that from Taylor's competition. I did last
Exactly.
year. 4 rounds for time. Yeah.
It just would have looked prettier.
Good shot. 4 rounds
I
for
think.
time. Okay, I tried to keep the 5. Okay, I tried to keep the
I
5 rounds.
think the biggest challenge, obviously triple under. You know, if you like the triple under and you can tolerate it, then this becomes. It's a lot. This becomes. The dumbbell is now the easiest portion of the workout by far, even at 11.
The triple under is a triple under workout. Like,
But it's 110 toes to bar as well. Like that's no joke. That's a huge chunk in between, like going
Kyle.
into
Tyler.
80 chest to bars.
guys, his name is not Tyler. His name is Travis.
Brody.
People
Come
were
on.
confusing that in the spin cast too.
I mean, he
Were
looks
they?
the same.
Yeah.
I guess.
No, they look-
Seema gets it, man.
was
Skill
kidding.
was added with cardio.
we don't need more
Listen,
cardio.
if you can't do your triple under. That's the problem with you two, man. You're like the new Dave. You're just trying to make it accessible. It's too easy, man. It's too easy.
I have 80 dumbbell snatches with 100.
Yeah, this has bad ESPN coverage. All right,
I
listen.
agree. Well, it
Maybe I
wasn't covered.
overestimated people's ability to do triple unders.
How
And
many
I'm going to
triple
be
unders
totally
you got,
honest.
Travis?
I've never even tried a triple.
I think I can do
166?
3.
All
Yep.
right, maybe we use the
like
the
it.
rep scheme. Listen, where's the poll? Did I win the other poll for push pull? At least?
Yes, by a landslide. I got my ass whooped. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Did we just lose them?
he got excited.
Oh, shit.
He'll hop back in.
There it is.
I rage quit there for a
Did
second.
you get
Sorry.
excited?
I hit my mouse, hit the map. All right, look at this. Come right back to the generous words from Seema. Okay. Sorry about that. Let me.
So there was a SEMA in the chat, and this is Map Girl. Is this the same person?
Yeah, that's Seema.
It wasn't. There was a person that said SEMA in the chat.
Oh, tonight we had a Seema as well. I don't know if
Yeah.
Seema on it.
You
Can
pulled him up
you,
initially.
Hold on, what's going on here? No, that was all. No, I said Seema, but it's always been Map Girl. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
Sarah
Okay,
Cooper
now
said
everyone
SEMA. Got it. I got it.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Map Girl is Seema.
I know these people.
All right, everybody done shitting on my dumbass workout.
My name
Yes.
is
Thank you, Seema. Dicky's triplet. All right, last.
Poo poo.
Last.
Poo poo.
I want to see the poll. Can we see the poll?
Yeah, Travis smoked this. It's 16,
Well, I mean, we should show
47, 37. Can we show it? Can we pull it up on the
people.
screen?
Yeah, you can show it. You can pull it up in the chat.
Stand by.
That was he didn't smoke me. He
Okay.
beat me.
Yeah, he beat you. It started to come back.
Is it up on the screen?
This bullshit.
No.
Fuck, I don't know.
I think you deserved more than 16%, CJ.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay. And a different
right.
font. Dicky's triplet from CJ.
So similar to John, I kept the run just because minimal changes, and I went with like a stationary toes to bar, higher number, so that's 75, and then I went with the ascending ladder of dumbbell snatch. I had squat snatches in there, and I went back and forth on, what it was, and then with leaving Chad in, I was like, we're gonna do thrusters right in the next bit, and we came from the squat clean the night before, even though it was minimal. I didn't think we needed more knee flexion, so I kept it with a power snatch. So that's where
Ours is just so alike. I have
pretty
5 more
similar.
toes to bar and 20 more snatches, but it's very similar.
Yep.
CJ, the main critique from me is the presentation, the rep scheme, the numbers.
The center.
Yeah, mine's
The
prettier.
prettiness.
Like
Mine
the
is
best
prettier.
15.
I had this initially, and I thought the toes to bar were low, and I didn't want to. I had almost the same exact workout, and I'm pretty sure I had the same exact workout because we decided this workout on Tuesday, and that's why we talked about this exactly how we would change it, and I think it was still like
Fresh.
deep in there, and I thought about it when you wrote yours, and I was like, we wrote this together on Tuesday when we talked about it, and so I had that
was
initially.
beautiful.
And then I was like, I just want a stationary toes to bar because I didn't want the toes to bar to be too easy too early, right? And I really wanted grip to be a factor. And I felt like 15 might maybe cause that. And then as I'm looking, I'm like, I probably could have been like 12 to 20 ascending. And I think I had almost the exact same workout before I changed it. But cool.
Cool. Shit. What else was I gonna say about that? I don't know. John, you got any more thoughts?
No, I think it was a common theme that we needed to do.
What?
John,
John,
go ahead.
sorry. What do you think of CJ making his 3 changes and not adding any squatting?
I think I think it's about as good as your triple under workout. I think he missed the boat.
Get fucked. Get the fuck out of here. With Chad,
fucked up.
if you keep Chad in, you have to consider the overall volume on the knees, even though there isn't a squat. And
All right,
so
Dave.
with Chad in, hey, fuck you. I've been writing programming for 8 years.
He's a
every single
master's
day.
athlete, CJ.
Shut up. Still balanced, and there's still a consideration of fatigue in general. 3.5 mile run, 1,600 meter run at full effort. Chad, squat clean ladder. While it wasn't knee flexion under load, it was still a lot of knee stimulus and overall bounding patterns. So I didn't think that
Stimulating of the knee.
I didn't think
The
that
knee was
another
stimulated.
knee contraction was necessary. Bitch.
All these big words.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, get out of here. You're all fired. Just me. All right.
That is
Already
interesting.
I like it. That was fun.
Though. That is interesting, though, that you didn't, like, your mind didn't go there.
It did, but I left Chad in. Had I taken Chad out, or even if I would have went to Amanda, I probably would have added squatting in the dumbbell snatch workout.
It's not 1,000 step ups.
It's not 1,000
Right.
step ups.
Yeah.
And so that was the gist.
The ruck was very heavy, by the way. Did y'all know that? It was 52 pounds.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
That makes a huge difference. I've tried Chad with a 60-pound ruck. I didn't make it, by the way. I made it 600 steps.
It messed
I
you
made
up.
My Achilles started getting really, really pissed. Even onto
was
like
it so heavy?
a gymnastic mat.
I don't know. They let them keep it, and Austin weighed it, and he showed it to me. He goes, "Look, I don't know what it is, but it's way heavier than 45 pounds." And then he weighed
They probably
it.
put a 45-pound plate in there, and then those bags are usually a few pounds, and I would guess that would be it.
7 pounds.
Yeah, that's probably high. I usually it's like 3 or 4, because they're really dense.
52.2.
Maybe that was just Austin's. You should ask everyone else to weigh it.
Maybe that's why he did so good, man. The
Yeah, if
extra
he did
weight,
so
you know
well,
what I mean?
maybe he
Like-
maybe his was light. And everybody else was 55.
Yeah, maybe it's possible. I think he might
all
win
right.
the games next year.
Okay, so chat. Let's put up another poll. Who wins overall? All 3 changes. Who has the best
I don't
changes
know-
to the
I
games?
don't know if we're gonna get a fair vote. I don't think people are even. Gonna
Doesn't matter.
remember.
Yeah, I don't think people will remember.
Doesn't matter. They got to vote on popularity now.
We're
Sorry,
just
I'll still lose.
abusing- abusing-
John will still win because he's everywhere.
I don't
That's
think
it.
so. People don't want to vote for me.
They say that, but they still show up and listen to you rant. Thus, they still like you, even though they want to hate you.
I think people hate watch more than I'd like to admit.
We're just abusing the poll function now that we figured it out.
100%. You got to teach me how to
Crack
use
the
it.
code.
Crack the code.
Yeah,
Did you
I've
put
tried-
it up there,
I
Travis?
think so. Yeah. Vote, don't go on your phone and vote for yourself.
I'm
see
making-
I
what you're doing.
100% voted for myself.
Calling Leslie.
DJ
Oh,
voted
oh,
for
oh.
himself. He's trying to
100% I did.
Calling
I'll
Leslie,
lose. It's
calling
fine.
your
I'll
parents.
lose. That's okay.
Shelly Young. Shelly, what a pleasure meeting you.
That's all right.
And
Good
Larry
programming is
Weekend.
usually boring, so it's fine.
Jeff's gonna
Oh,
vote
you
for
can
whoever's
see
the
the
most
vote.
caked up.
You can see the vote on your phone. That's nice.
Oh, can you? That's cool. John's like, let me see.
Fantastic technology.
All right.
Um,
22 votes are in. Do we want to know the results?
Yeah, what
Pull
are they?
down. Oh, this is, see, I told you. I told you.
I think my
Fuck, I'm
family's
in
just more supportive of Travis's than Travis's family. Like,
That's true. Yeah, yeah.
I
Oh,
might
dude,
have like
no love.
4 family members that voted.
or
Yeah,
blood
John's-
related.
Like,
Do you know what? If I'm in last, it's probably accurate, guys. So
your triple unders ruined it for you, man. I
Yes,
think you were in the
Kevin.
lead. I think you were in the lead till the triple unders.
yeah.
100%.
I-
Kevin, yes, we fixed all of it. Every bit of it. All right. That was fun.
Cool.
What's
You gonna hit-
go ahead.
I was gonna say, you gonna hit a workout tomorrow from the qualifier. I might do one. The crash qualifier.
I might do the hundreds.
How long do you think it's gonna take you?
Oh, I don't want to think about it.
25.
I think 25 is a more reasonable number. I would like shoot for sub 25. Workouts like that, like it's hard for me to stay competitive because once I get slow, like I just kind of stay slow.
No mid workout break and then speed back up.
It's a tough one. That's long. I don't know. I can do that one. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow.
Do you want to make it the
Hold on,
next
my
WOD
hands are
prep wars?
That's actually not a bad idea. We could do that. No, or I guess it's probably
Travis is
defeats the
playing for our
purpose.
team.
We could do. Oh,
Do you think you can get Kevin in this one or no?
Yeah, Kevin will do it. Kevin's
No,
got like
Travis. I'm talking to Travis.
Oh, I have no
not
idea. I'm
you,
gonna say
CJ.
no.
oh fuck
I think
you.
you meant get.
Like
There's no
get him to do it.
anti-walking. No,
Ke-
no. I'm saying, do I think Travis can beat him?
I don't need a fucking tribute. I can do this workout. All right. This is bullshit.
Augustus is clapping all our cheeks. We should do a collaboration with CrossFit Crash where we do the qualifier. A-qual.
Yeah. I think I want to. I'll talk to you guys off air, but I have another idea of like how to progress the WODprep wars. I think I have a good idea
Taking
for
it
it.
to the next level.
Yeah, it's going. We're gonna grow.
As soon as your team started losing, you guys.
No, it's still gonna be. It's still we're gonna have it. We're gonna have something else though.
John retired you. John retired you.
by one by
That-
1
that
second.
1 second loss.
Yeah,
That was it. I never want to compete again.
that was brutal.
That was it. Cool. Well, hey, thanks guys. Thanks for joining today. I hope we were able to maybe just kind of clean the air a little bit. Yeah, just not talk about the stuff. I'll be on tomorrow morning, 6:45 Central AM for Coffee and Conversations. Still trying to get that coffee sponsorship. You know what I mean? That's the only reason why I'm on.
Early show, man. It's an early show.
Hustling.
Yeah, but it's nice to get on and just chat. Maybe if you guys ever get up early, you're up, aren't you? Up at like 5?
I'm coaching.
Yeah, I know, but you're up.
I'm awake.
I mean, it's the
Yeah.
same thing. It's the
guess
same thing. I just roll into my computer and I pour coffee and I look at the screen instead of
no, you're
yelling
right.
at
I'm probably working harder than you. I agree.
yelling at muscle mommies. Cool. I did want. Oh yeah, never mind. I think that's it. Anything else? You guys got anything?
No, this was fun.
Cool.
It's good to be back on. Good to see
All
you.
right, guys. Enjoy the day. Have a good